It was hard to use. You know, if you think back to 1995 and you wanted to stream just audio, you had to have a subscription with an internet service provider. Then to make that work, you had to download a client which had a TCP/IP client. Then you had to download a streaming audio client, you know, and you had to have the right kind of modem. There were all these pieces that had to fit together. It was complicated. And so the uptake was big for sports fans and, you know, big news junkies, and everybody else were like, dude, you're an idiot. I'll just turn on my TV. You know, I'll just turn on the radio. What the hell do I have to go through all that hassle to just listen to a sporting event? And we reached that initial stage, and then all of a sudden it got a little bit boring, right? Because you had to wait for the new applications to come along. You know, we had to wait for live to come along. We had to wait for video to come along. We started, you know, streaming audio in 1995. When we did video, it was 1998. You know, and even then it was only postage stamp size. And it was only, you know, in 2012, let's say 2013, 14, almost 20 years later, where people looked at streaming like, okay, it's normal, right? You just click on Netflix and it just streams. And you don't have to do anything else. If you think back with crypto, it's very analogous to that. We're in the artificial intelligence stages of crypto. I probably am not allowed to say this yet, but look at Elon's new XAI crypto project. Now, if you think back, the very earliest of crypto, however you want to decide the beginning with Bitcoin or whatever, has been around 12 years. If you think back, but in terms of application with smart contracts, it's only recent. XAI, for example, is going to implement new technology none of us have ever seen. So if you think the project is only in its pre-sale infancy stage, garnering support with early investors, and it's been kept quiet on purpose. If you think back, I am still bullish on crypto, of course, and this is my #1 future outlook play. We had many wins so far, you know. In crypto, you have money transfer and other applications, and there's a lot of people working on them. You know, NFTs for the resale of books. So we take NFTs past the collectible markets to the utility markets. NFTs for refi, which is for carbon offsets, buying and selling and trading carbon offsets, and even burning them so that they're not resold all the time, but they have a direct impact on the environment. And there'll be more and more and more of those applications that bring in, that are more mainstream, but they're not all the way here.